Hey guys, Mike here. Hey, this is my new eBay find. I picked this up the other day. I had been watching it. I've been looking on eBay for Steadyrest for I bet 2 or 3 years now. And I just pop in there now and then, and so far I've been able to do without one, and I've turned down a fair number of jobs that required a Steadyrest. But I've got a job in mind for myself that's coming up that there's no way around it. I need to have a Steadyrest. So anyway, so I've been looking on eBay at Steadyrest, and I saw this one, and I thought to myself, boy, that sure looks like a Claus & Colchester design. The price really wasn't too bad, so I thought, well, you know what, that's actually within my range. But I'm thinking, you know, that couldn't possibly be. Well, it was listed on eBay as unbranded, and they did have, you know, the typical tape measure and a couple places, you know, up against it, so you could kind of use that as a reference. And I did some interpolation on what I saw, and I thought, you know, man, that thing looks like it could work. It could actually be for a 13-inch lathe, so, you know, it would need to have a 6.5-inch distance from here to the center. So I had looked at this particular one several different times, and I don't know how it works on eBay, but the fellow that was selling it must have some way of knowing or tracking or replying to those that are interested and popping into his posting to see this thing. So this individual sent me an offer, a reduced price on this. I thought, wow, that's not too bad. And so anyway, I went back and revisited it, and thought, well, you know what, maybe for that price, maybe it's worth the gamble to get this thing, because if it doesn't work exactly on your lathe, as you know, you have to do some modifications. The modifications normally are done down in this area here, and of course you have to have enough meat, especially if you have to take some off. You know, if it gets too thin, it would be no good. So I decided, well, heck, I'll shoot this fellow a counter offer, and I did. I shot him a counter offer, and lo and behold, he accepted it. Well, here's the risk. If I got this thing and I couldn't modify it and it didn't work on my lathe, you know, I'm out the money. I mean, I've got you know, a boat anchor. But I decided to take the risk, and I went ahead and bought it, and fully expecting to have to do some kind of modifications on this. Well, lo and behold, I got it, did some rough measurement real quick, took it over to my lathe, set it on there, and it is the exact Steadyrest that I needed for my lathe. So really, all I need to do to this thing is maybe chip off this loose paint and clean it up a little bit, maybe give it a new coat of paint and put her to work, and then we can get on with our next project. And that's where we're at right now. But anyway, I'm really tickled about this. I'm really pumped. Everything works good. I've inspected it. I don't see any cracks. These fingers are, I can tell that you know, this one works a lot smoother than these, but that should be no problem. And I don't know if these are just to keep the fingers from spinning, or whether they are actually locks or not. I'm not sure. I'm not real experienced with a Steadyrest. To tell you the truth, I've never used one, but you know, it's all basic machining and common sense, so it should be no problem. So that's where we're at right now on this. I'm going to get busy and start cleaning on this thing, and then we'll be ready to get on to our next project. Okay guys, that's it for right now. I'll be back. So now let's clean this up. First thing we want to do is get this thing apart, and then we'll see what we have to do about getting this old paint off of here. And I think I'm going to try using my needle scaler. I did that on my bandsaw when I refurbished that. It was a suggested that I do that by a viewer, and boy, that worked slick. So we're going to try that on this. If that paint is old and hard enough, it should crack right off, so we'll do that. But first, let's get it apart. And boy, there's no play in these fingers. So let's see what we have to do. Okay, this one's going to come right out. Okay. Yeah, that's the way it's supposed to do it right there. We take this out, we should be able to push that pin right in there. Left-handed thread. And that's out. Okay. Okay. So. Oh, can't get it in, can't get it out. Oh, that's a. That's a crazy shame. Oh boy. Comes out here. And this pin comes out of here. And we should be able to and I think we'll leave this right in here. But isn't that special? All right, let's give this a shot. Alright, so we've got our Steadyrest sitting up here on the lathe. It's not bolted down. There are a few minor things to do to this yet. this clamp block is a little bit too wide to nestle between the ways of my lathe. So I'm going to have to take just a little bit off this dimension, probably another 1/8 of an inch, and it'll slip in there and do the job just fine. And that's very minor. These 3 nuts that lock the fingers down need to be cleaned up yet, get the paint off of them, and we'll reuse those. Those are metric, so I don't have those on hand. So I'll reuse the old ones. This clamp lock that clamps the 2 halves together is just an Allen bolt stuck in here, and it's missing the clawsing clamp handle that normally comes with it, and that's okay. I can remake that later if I really want it, but this will work fine. So that's pretty much it. I'm pretty happy with it. It's a perfect fit for my lathe, and now I can get on to my next project, and that's making the air bearing spindle for my end mill sharpening rig. So I hope you join me from that one. Hope you're having a good 2021, and until next time, see you later, guys.